The National Basketball Association. Last night's events. Shout out to the Atlanta Hawks. We told you plus 250 something odds. Atlanta was winning that basketball game. I hate to say it, but I told you so. I told you Trae Young was going to go in there. Trae Young owns the city of New York. I know he's like 8-14 against the Knicks, but still, right now he owns that team. All right, that is Trae Young's team that just happens to play in Madison Square Garden. He owns that squad, and the Atlanta Hawks are going to beat the Milwaukee Bucks in Las Vegas, okay? Trust me, we'll get to that again when the in-season tournament resumes on Saturday, all right? But Trae Young is that guy. Trae Young is, Kendrick Perkins said it right, he is the most underappreciated superstar in the NBA since Carmelo Anthony, and it is an absolute fact. All right, Trae Young is him. He's an all-star, and he's one of the best players in the NBA. And he owns the New York Knicks. Now, the Golden State Warriors. I don't know what to say. Who calls a loose ball foul on a tie-up on the ground where it should have been a jump ball or a timeout for the Rockets? We got screwed last night. We got absolutely screwed, and I'm pissed off. Steve Kerr said it right at the end of the game. I mean, at the elementary school level, you don't even see them call something like that. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it makes you wonder the validity of the sport sometimes. I'm just saying. It pisses me off that they made a call like that to put Jalen Green at the free throw line and to win the game for the Houston Rockets. It's horrible. It's absolute blasphemy. Regardless, we are back for more NBA predictions here on the channel. Only 3 games today. I'm not going to lie, not the best slate, but we'll talk over it, of course, like we do every single day here on the channel with the association. So, folks, if you have not yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. About an hour ago, we posted our college basketball best bet there on the channel as well, along with yesterday, we posted our NFL predictions. We posted our college football predictions earlier in the week. Here's the full schedule for the rest of the college football season. Again, weekly college football picks still, again, with the bowl games and with the college football playoffs. Our PFL Europe predictions are on the channel. Our UFC Tampa predictions with Colby Chaos Covington and New Mansa, Joaquin Buckley are on the channel as well. And also make sure to enter the 20,000 subscriber $100 giveaway. You have a couple more days to do it. Obviously, we're drawing a winner on early Saturday morning, so make sure, again, you join the giveaway. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and follow Greedo Plays YT on Instagram. It is the first link in the description down below. All right, on to the first of 3 games for today. We start things off here at the TD Garden for the Boston Celtics and the Detroit Pistons. We like Boston to cover the line. Originally, it was 13.5. It has now gone down to 12.5. We like that. We're taking Boston to win this basketball game and cover the 12.5 points as well. I get it, the Celtics coming after their loss to the Memphis Grizzlies in their last game. Hell, we told you the Grizzlies were going to go to Boston and win that basketball game. I think they're able to beat Detroit here. Detroit is coming off a victory over the New York Knicks on the road. A great victory for them. Everyone is fully healthy, of course, for both squads in this game. But I just think the Celtics are better. Obviously, that goes without saying. The last time these two teams played was in Boston. The Celtics beat them by 10 points. I'd expect them to increase that margin in this basketball game. Again, that game was just played a week ago. It was December 4th where these two teams matched up, and that was just 2 games ago for Detroit. I believe it was 3 games ago for Boston because they played the Bucks after that. But this feels just like a blowout spot for the Celtics. Fully rested. Their last game against Memphis, Drew Holiday led their team in points with 23. The first time all season long where someone not named Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum led the Celtics in points. And again, it's a problem when Drew Holiday's leading your team in points. Jason Tatum is fully in the MVP discussion. Again, he's not the MVP because the MVP plays in Oklahoma City and his name is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. But Tatum's been great. He is questionable for this game, but I'd assume Tatum is going to play, considering, again, the Celtics have not played in a couple of days now, obviously, with the in-season tournament going on for the last couple of days, and of course Monday with there only being 1 game with New York and Toronto. We like the Celtics to win this basketball game. We like them to cover as well. Again, the Pistons, not a bad team, but it's literally just Cade Cunningham. And I would not anticipate Cunningham to have the same game that he has had in the last 2 games. Cunningham's been on a roll. Obviously, that Boston game, 27-9-14. The win at the Garden over the Knicks, 29-10-15. I think Cunningham kind of cools off in this basketball game, and I do think the Celtics win it, and I do think they cover the 12.5 point spread as well. I feel like this is just a national blowout association type game. It's going to be Boston at home to blow out and cover, obviously, here against the Detroit Pistons. Next up, we go on to South Beach. We've got the Toronto Raptors taking on the Miami Heat. No Scotty Barnes in this basketball game. Scotty Barnes is now out for a couple weeks. Despite that, we like Toronto to cover the spread. With everything surrounding the Miami Heat right now, I do like Toronto in this game. Jimmy Butler, who knows what his future holds? How many more games does Jimmy Butler play as a member of the Miami Heat? I mean, hell, he already has his full list of potential trade destinations. I mean, how much longer can we rely on this guy to give the Heat a full effort? And again, Jimmy has not been the same guy this season, and it's fair because Butler has carried this team and willed this team throughout the playoffs year in and year out. But hell, does Jimmy Butler even play this game tonight for the Miami Heat? I mean, again, it feels like he's on the brink of leaving, right? It feels like any day now we're going to see that Jimmy Butler trade to where? I don't know. But it feels like that's happening any day now. And sure, Miami's been good without him this season, with Tyler Hero, with Bam Adebayo. Those two guys have really carried the load this year for Miami despite Jimmy Butler not being at his best. But I do think Toronto is able to cover this line. 10.5 points is a lot. It is a lot for a scrappy Raptors squad, a Raptors team that has covered this line in back-to-back games. Again, I know they're much better in Canada than they are in the States, but still, a team that covered this line against the Dallas Mavericks only lost the game by 7 points. They covered it against the New York Knicks. They lost the game by 5 points. And with no Scotty Barnes, again, that does hurt this team, but they still have their two young stars, and we're talking about a potential all-star this season, probably should be an all-star, in RJ Barrett. And on top of that, Grady Dick, obviously, as well, the up-and-coming rising star. Dick is still in the lineup tonight for the Toronto Raptors. Obviously, again, with their, with Scotty Barnes out, it looks like Davion Mitchell will probably be starting at the 1 for the Raptors. Jakob Poeltl, again, has been very good for this team as well at the 5 this season as well. I feel okay with the Raptors covering this 10.5 point line. I just think it's too many. I don't really rely on Miami. I wouldn't rely on Miami to blow anybody out, especially the last 2 times these teams played as well, right? They just played back-to-back games November 29th and December 1st. The first one was won by Miami, 121-111 in South Beach. But again, that wouldn't even cover. I get it again. We're talking very small margins here. Literally, again, they scored 1 more point, the Heat would have covered that game. But technically, again, the Raptors covered this line the first time these two teams played. The second game they played, the Raptors won the game in Toronto. And I get it again. The Raptors have been so much better this year in Canada than they have been in the United States. I think the Raptors have, 1 win in the United States this year? It's that win over the Pelicans still. I think it's their only win. Could be mistaken. No, they beat the Indiana Pacers. Oh, no. The Pacers, that game was in Toronto. Yeah, their only win on the road this year is the New Orleans Pelicans. That's why I'm not telling you they're not going to win the game. They're definitely not going to, but I do think they're able to keep it competitive. They have played the Heat relatively close this season already, and I think they played this game close as well, especially with everything surrounding Jimmy Butler and really, again, the trade rumors that are surrounding the Miami Heat currently. Give me Toronto to go on the road to South Beach, cover the 10.5 point spread, but ultimately, again, the Heat should probably win the basketball game. Let's go on to our final game of the night, and we go on to New Orleans, Louisiana for the New Orleans Pelicans and the Sacramento Kings. We just mentioned it earlier. There's one team that the Toronto Raptors have beat in the United States of America this season. It's the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't care how bad the Sacramento Kings have been. And trust me, I have my own gripes with the Sacramento Kings and how bad they've been this season, how disappointing the Kings have been this season, and the fact that they haven't covered in big spots for us. But maybe Sacramento is finally getting on the right foot. Back-to-back victories and back-to-back blowout victories were games where they scored 140 points in each of them. The 140-113 victory on the road in San Antonio against the Spurs. A 141 to a 97 victory at home in their last game over the Utah Jazz. A Utah Jazz team that's coming off a huge game where they won right before that in Portland. So maybe Sacramento's figuring it out. 3 out of 4 wins in their last 4 games, obviously. You date back to December 3rd where they beat the Houston Rockets, who are so fraudulent. I don't care. They suck. They're not good. Jalen Green is not good. Don't get me started on the Rockets. We will get into a full in-depth breakdown about how bad the Houston Rockets are on Saturday, where the Oklahoma City Thunder will beat the ever-living shit out of the Houston Rockets. Trust me, we will get to that game on Saturday. The Kings only lost in their last 4 is that game where they lost on the road to the Grizzlies. They lost the game by 5 points. And these have been games, again, where De'Aaron Fox hasn't really shown out. It's been, again, Sabonis, and it's been, Kevin Huerter in one of those games had 26 points against the Jazz. DeRozan had big games against San Antonio and against the Grizz. And fortunately for the Kings, they're playing the worst team in the NBA, other than the Wizards. It's the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans are just bad. Zion Williamson still out. DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum in the lineup, but Brandon Ingram still out. This is still a G League team. Jose Alvarado still out. Jordan Hawkins, I know not a major piece of this team, but still out. They are still missing a lot of their guys on this team. Hell, no, Jordan Hawkins has started games this season. Now, that is more of a major piece than you would expect. He might be big. Is he a bigger piece than Alvarado? I don't know. But, guys, the Pelicans are 5-20. This is not a good basketball team. Sure, they beat the Suns a couple games ago, but they have fallen completely back down to earth in their last 2 games, losing to the Thunder, losing it to the Spurs. If you can take anything encouraging away from this New Orleans Pelicans team currently, is that DeJounte Murray is finally getting it back. right? Since getting injured in the first game of the season, DeJounte Murray has been very shaky, but it looked like, again, in those last 2 games that they've played, especially the OKC game, it looks like DeJounte Murray is DeJounte Murray again. That's encouraging for New Orleans, but I refuse to pick this team again until they get 3 stars back, right? Ingram's still not back, and ultimately, again, I would not feel great about picking this Pelicans team at all until Zion Williamson is back. And it's a shame for New Orleans. Again, they are the first team on the ban list, obviously, this year, but it's a shame because their entire season has just been ruined because there's no coming back from 5-20 in the Western Conference like there potentially might be in the Eastern Conference. Hell, like a team like the Philadelphia 76ers. There's no coming back from this in the West because of how loaded the Western Conference is. So it's just a shame that the Pelicans got their entire season destroyed because of injuries. It's a damn shame. Especially this is a team that was, well in the midst of things last season. They were the number 7 seed going into the play-in, obviously lost to the Lakers, but, it's a shame for the Pelicans. But they suck, and we're never going to pick them until, again, Zion probably comes back. So give me Sacramento to win this basketball game. 5.5 points on the road should be easy. Again, the Kings have been blowing teams out in back-to-back games. They just got to do it on the road at the Smoothie King Center, and I think they will do exactly that. Expect a big game tonight out of De'Aaron Fox and company. Sabonis down low should be able to feast. Give me the Kings to blow out the New Orleans Pelicans on the road at the Smoothie King Center, rounding out our 3 predictions here for the NBA here on December 12th. So folks, thank y'all for watching our daily NBA predictions here. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions, plus the college basketball best bets on the channel as well. Folks, you can make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.